So sometimes when people are admitted in the hospital to check out whether their heart is working or not, ECG is performed. What is this ECG? Electrocardiogram. Okay. I said you there are two, what do you say, nodal tissues in the heart, sino-auricular node, auriculoventricular node, and then comes this bundle and Purkinje fibers. When this conduction of nerve impulse takes place between these tissues, that electric impulse is studied with the help of an electrocardiograph. So in an electrocardiograph, we can see there is a P wave, Q wave, R wave, S wave, T wave, U wave. T wave and U wave. Okay. This wave is P wave. This is Q, R, S, T, U. Okay. If there is any up and down between, see, you should see that here 0.5 microvolts to 1 microvolts. Between this graph is there. Here this point is 2 microvolts. Okay. This is highest peak when electricity, all the polarization is complete. That means all nodal tissue is excited, both the sino-auricular node, auriculoventricular node, as well as Purkinje fibers, his bundle, all are producing nerve impulse. At that time, this is the peak that is arrived. Okay, this from after this again PQ again it will start. Okay, so if there is any inversal, if P instead of being like this, if it is from down, or if there is a straight line means no impulse is generated. Slight up and downs means that what system of what do you say, system of production of nerve impulse is not correct. So between 0.5 to 1 volt, in between P is there, a little lower than that Q is there, R is the peak stage and S is the lowermost stage. After that T is slightly, very slightly higher than P, almost similar, and Q is very little lower than this P also, T also. Okay, so that is the ECG, electrocardiogram. From here to here it is called as PQ interval. From here to here it is called as QT interval. Okay, right, that is about electrocardiogram. Next, blood clot, how blood clot is formed. Formation of blood clot. Whenever the blood vessel is getting cut, immediately here the cells called platelets will accumulate. Okay. After the platelets are accumulating, in these platelets there is an enzyme called thrombokinase. This is released. And inside the plasma of blood there are two proteins called prothrombin, fibrinogen. These two proteins present in the blood plasma help in blood clotting. They are called as blood clotting proteins or blood clotting factors. Blood clotting factors, blood clotting proteins. Okay. Now this thrombokinase is an enzyme. Okay. We have studied till now enzymes are helpful for digesting the food material. So here this is an enzyme which catalyzes a reaction. So enzymes rather than digestive substances, you should actually say them as biocatalyst. Biocatalyst. You know what is a catalyst? It triggers any reaction, sparks up any reaction. Here, biologically, enzymes act as catalyst. So, thrombokinase is an enzyme which helps in conversion of prothrombin, a protein which is actually inactive. to an active stage called thrombin. Okay, who is acting here? Enzyme thrombokinase. Now this thrombin will convert fibrinogen, second protein, into fibrin by the action of thrombin. What is the advantage of this conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin? Fibrinogen is soluble protein. It gets dissolved in blood plasma, whereas fibrin is insoluble fibers that can form mesh. When so many threads are getting tangled, what happen? It will form a mesh. So if this mesh forms inside the blood, it will stop. So in this location, if that mesh is formed, it will stop the flow of blood cells. All the blood cells will accumulate here. As a result, clot is formed and blood will not be able to go out. Okay, so if this is the cut, let us assume this is the cut region, and here the blood cells will accumulate. After this, thrombin clot is formed here. This is thrombin clot is formed here. All the blood cells will stop here. It will not be able to go outside, and these all will bind and form a clot. Now there is no outflow of blood. Okay, so this is called as blood clot. Blood clot. Here, why these proteins are initially in an inactive stage, why they are converting into active stages. Most of the chemicals in our body are like that only. If it is normally in active stage, then all blood will be getting clotted even in the normal conditions. Even in the normal conditions, okay, right. Even in the normal conditions, we can see that blood will be clotted if these two are in active state. Instead of that, being inactive stage will protect our body from blood getting clotted in unnecessary conditions when there is no what do you say, damage in the blood vessels. Right. How much time blood clots? 3 to 6 minutes. If it is not clotting in 3 to 6 minutes, what does it mean? Then that person is suffering with vitamin K deficiency. It's called as hemophilia. Hemophilia is a condition in which blood does not clot because of vitamin K deficiency. Okay? There is another condition which I'll say you now. That is also related to a genetic blood disorder, thalassemia. Hemoglobin is a blood protein. Hemoglobin is a blood protein. We all know about this. It is an iron containing protein and it imparts green color to the blood. In this protein, there are alpha subunits, beta subunits. So when we were talking about the digestion, I said you that all proteins are made up of polypeptide chains. So this is made up of 4 polypeptide chains, 2 alpha polypeptides, 2 beta polypeptides. During the formation of this hemoglobin molecule, total chain will be formed. After that, there will be splitting into alpha subunit and beta subunit. Then after that, there will form different types of bonds. Okay. During this process, if alpha protein is not completely formed, it leads to a condition called alpha thalassemia. If beta subunit is not formed properly, then it leads to a condition called beta thalassemia. Thalassemia is a genetic condition. Genetic blood disorder. Genetic means something that comes from generation to generation. Genetic blood disorder in which there will be anemia because hemoglobin is not produced. When hemoglobin is not produced in our body, RBC cells cannot be produced. If RBC cells are not produced, blood deficiency is there, and that condition is called as anemia. What should be done to these patients? They should be given regularly blood. Blood should be given to these patients regularly. Okay, there are units. Some 4 or 5 years back, we have seen that thalassemia patients came to our school also, and from our school, a lot of money was donated to them. So they need always help because they need to get blood administered regularly. Always their health is not good because of this anemic condition. Right? That is it, children. Next, blood blood pressure. Blood pressure. In short, it is called as BP. What is blood pressure? Blood pressure is measured by an instrument called sphygmomanometer. You know, you're all chemistry children, you know that manometer is used to measure pressure. Sphygmomanometer is used to measure blood pressure. Okay? How is this blood pressure measured? At elbow. At elbow, two measurements are taken. 120 by 80 mm of Hg. Mm of Hg is unit of pressure. Okay, what is this 120? What is this 80? 120 is systolic pressure, whereas 80 is diastolic pressure. Diastolic pressure. You have heard these words before. Can you recollect what is systole and what is diastole? We discussed during the cardiac cycle. What is systole? What is diastole? Systole is contraction and diastole is relaxation. Just like our, okay, right. Just like our heart contracts and relax. Whenever our heart contracts, it sends blood into the blood vessels with a lot of pressure. At that time, what happens? Blood vessels, they increase their diameter. Okay, they increase their diameter and blood flows in them with a lot of pressure. It travels in the entire body and comes back. When it is coming back, its pressure is very low. So what is done in this position? The sphygmomanometer is fixed and blood pressure is measured. What is done is when heart pumps the blood directly, it enters into artery. At that time, blood pressure is very high. That is 120 mm of Hg. And when the blood is traveling in the entire hand and coming back through veins, the vein that is present here measures a blood pressure of 80 mm of Hg. Okay. So this is the pressure when contraction happens, immediately blood enters into arteries. At that time, pressure of blood in arteries will be 120 mm of Hg. When the blood travels to fingers and comes back, at that time, pressure in veins will be simply 80 mm of Hg. So that is how blood pressure is measured. Because of some eating spicy foods, getting more anger, going more reactive, or hormonal stimulation of anger, hatred, anger will increase the raise of BP to 140 by 100. This is called as high BP or high blood pressure. Sometimes when we are not eating enough food, enough nutrients are not present in our body, then the pressure with which blood flows will decrease. It may go to 100 by 60. At that time, it is called as low blood pressure. Okay. Nowadays, we have different type of instruments to measure blood pressure. It is also a kind of sphygmomanometer only, which is faster compared to the normal. There is no pumping machine. Usually, there will be a small air pump fixed to sphygmomanometer, and there will be a belt fixed here. Nowadays it is coming without any pumping machine, only with the belt. Okay, we'll see some of the heart related disorders. CAD. So one is BP, second one is CAD, coronary artery disease. Coronary artery is a artery that supplies blood to heart muscles. Sometimes this coronary arteries do not supply blood to heart, and this condition is also called as atherosclerosis if it occurs in any part of body. What happens is blood vessel is like this. In this blood vessel, some deposition of cholesterol may take place. Cholesterol may deposit, or fat may deposit, or calcium can deposit, or even fibrous tissue can grow in size. So blood vessels, inside the blood vessels there is a small thin fibrous tissue. Sometimes that fibrous tissue also grows more. As a result, this is completely blocked, okay, and blood will not be able to flow, and this blockage is called as coronary artery disease and atherosclerosis. If it is worse, it can lead to heart attack also. Heart attack also may occur. Okay, so this will be diagnosed even when the amount of fat or cholesterol is low also. At that time treatment should be started. If it is completely filling the path, then it leads to cardiac arrest. Even after the cardiac arrest is identified, there will be a small stent placed in the middle and through which the blood can flow. Okay, this is one condition. Next, myocardial infarction. Myocardial infraction is a condition in which cardiac muscle is not getting sufficient amount of oxygen. So if any muscle is not getting sufficient amount of oxygen, its contraction and relaxation will slow down. When contraction and relaxation will slow down at once, it may lead to even cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest is when oxygen supply is completely stopped for the heart. At that time, heart will completely stop beating and it is called as cardiac arrest. Now you should be clear what is the difference between cardiac arrest and heart attack. Heart attack is something that occurs because of slow deposition of fat tissue or some cholesterol or fibrous tissue overgrowth in the blood vessel. And cardiac arrest is when heart muscles do not get sufficient amount of oxygen. One particular area of heart muscles do not get oxygen at all. And suddenly heart will not beat. No oxygen, it's not able to function. It will stop suddenly. That is called as cardiac arrest. Okay. Next, if the same condition occurs in middle-aged people, it is also called as angina pectoris. This is also oxygen deficiency. Oxygen supply is not well in the heart. Okay, all this can be avoided if you do a good amount of walking. So, as we have discussed in respiration, walking improves the oxygen intake. Lung capacity will increase. What I said, you normally 500 ml of oxygen enters in and leaves it for a normal person. But for an athletic person, it can increase to 1000 ml also because we are doing more exercise, lungs will be used more. Okay, so this can be avoided. The cardiac arrest and all myocardial infarction, angina pectoris can be avoided if you take right amount of oxygen, and that taking right amount of oxygen is possible through exercise, yoga, and all. Right? So that is about various conditions